Hello and welcome to this episode, and today I'm going to be looking at this Sonic Man from 1994 by a toy company called Soma, and it's a bit of a what can we say, RoboCop rip-off, I think, knockoff, shall we say, not rip-off, knockoff. I don't think these were very expensive at the time. A little gimmick where you press the button here and his visor should light up. It's a bit rusty on the screws there, as you can see, so let's pop some batteries in, and then I'm guessing it's not going to work because I've seen that. So it's these little watch batteries. What are they? LR44, so I think it's a couple of them by the looks of it. So let's whack them in. Yeah, they fit nice in there. I don't think we need to put that back on for now. Yeah, and his visor's not lighting up as suspected. So let's get the batteries out. Easier said than done. And then we'll take them apart, see what's on the inside. So I don't know a lot about this range, but as I say, it's 1994 on the back of the battery compartment there. Yeah, and a bit of a knockoff. I think it came with like 3 weapons, like a sword, a gun, maybe another gun. Okay, so that's the 2 screws out. So let's pop them open. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, double interesting. Let's go just actually put a resistor in there as well. I think that's where the problem is, but I suppose to put a resistor in, they put that in there just to keep the batteries a longer life, so the LED doesn't use up too much of the battery. But no, I thought they would just sort of hook the battery up to the LED, so that's an extra cost. So, interesting. Well, hopefully that will still work. I think our main issue is here, that will need all cleaning up if we can get that light out. I also noticed, as I took it out there, so we have the push button, but there's somehow a spare push button in the head there. I think that must have fallen in during production. So there we go. Right, I suppose we better try and get this out. So there's a screw under there, a screw there. Let's see what we can do. Well, that one's coming out. They're tiny. Right, this one's a bit of an angle. Okay, that one's out. So what we're looking at here, so I suppose the push button pushes onto that, so that's not going to come off, I don't think. No. So that's just the inside contact, which is looking very clean. Very clean. I don't know if you can see that. So no, okay. Let's have a look at the negative one. That'll come out. Yeah, that's attached to the LED on that side. But I'm guessing that's all, yeah, that's gone. We've got a little bit of corrosion there, but nothing major. So we'll need to solder that back on. Let's see if we can get the LED out. Let's just see if the LED works first of all. Let's just stick this in my multimeter into diode testing, and that's not lighting up, so I'm guessing that's gone. So I'll have to replace that. Let's see if we can get it out first. Right. There we go. That was easy. So, okay, I think the next thing is to remove the resistor, give everything a good clean up, and then solder in a new LED. Right, let's do that. Time to get the solder station on the go. Back from giving them a quick wash. It's come out quite nice. I don't think these toys were expensive at the time, but I think the next stage is, before we put the LED in, just give this a bit of a rub down with some sandpaper, just to get some of the corrosion off. I don't know if you see in there, it's kind of a bit of copper corrosion, so we'll get that all off so we've got a nice good contact. I want to be careful with this because it's only just plastic welded on there by the looks of it, so I don't want to bend it too much. Okay, I think the negative contact had a little bit of corrosion, not much though. Seeing the state of the screws and how rusty they were, I was expecting a lot worse. I'll clean that up in a second as well, get the solder off that. So I've just taken the screws that were a bit rusted, I just stuck them in some, soaking them in some WD-40s. I've just dropped that on the floor. Right, found it. Right, okay, so let's get the soldering iron back on. I have a replacement LED, which I think will fit in. Let's just put that in there. It's the same size, I think. So in theory it should fit. He says. Right, let's get the legs around the right way. So positive is the longer leg. Push that down the side there. It's quite tricky. Let's get the get it into place first. Ooh. Right. That's in. Push that down. And then this side, just push it across a bit. Now, I think this needs to be shorter, so I'll cut that down, because it only needs to go to there now, doesn't it? So it's sat there, and it needs to go into down there, that back onto there. Get the snips. This is probably where I've burned myself multiple times. But there we go. So let's first get that back on there. Get some fresh solder. That's on. Right, now this is going to be a tricky part, not trying to melt the plastic. going to happen. Right, let's move the diode up and out. Try to do it on the deck. Nearly set fire to the carpet. There you go. That's working with a camera in front of you. Right. Okay, well, it's on. Try and push that back in there. Well, I'm just going to check quickly if I've soldered it to the right leg, because that would be rubbish if I had. Right. It lights up. Yes, I've got the correct leg and the LED's lighting up there. Excellent. Job done. Okay. Next is getting the contacts back in and getting this one on. So that went into there. Let's get that screwed in. These screws are alright, these little ones, they weren't too bad, so. Quite fiddly, this one. That's back onto there. Now, let's get that, give that a blob of solder. So it's quite tricky because you don't want to burn the plastic. So let's see if that's got continuity. No. Okay. Let's have a look. I need to bend that leg up a bit. Well, cutting it off. Let's try that. No. Damn it. I wonder. I take that screw out slightly and then try and get the leg of the LED underneath that. And screw it down. Would that make a difference? Whole blob of solder on it now. Oh, let's see what happens here. This is looking horrible. So I might just remove all that. Definitely don't need it there. This is not how to do this job. I'm not professional, I don't say I ever was, but try not to burn the plastic. Right. I think the end of it's become bent. I'll straighten that out. Well, I think that's finally got it. Well, there's a lot of faffing about, but right, see if we have got it. Yes, we have. Excellent. Right, so let's push that back down into there. Yep. A little bit of plastic burning, melting even. But let's get the positive contact back in. So I'm guessing it was like that. Slips. Yeah, that's got it, I think. No. Yep, there we go. That's all screwed in. Right. Quick test, let's put some batteries in. If I press there, yes, that lights up. Nice. So that is all working. Right, let's get them back together. So his visor just goes in the top here, like so. So we'll do it this way around because you've got the button that sits in there, and I'm going to put the one that was in his head back in as well. So I think that'll make a nice little story for anybody else who wants to take him apart later on after I've moved him on to another home. If I do, I quite like him actually, so he might stay with me. Legs in. And the torso. Right, so let's go and get the rest of those screws, and we will be done. Back in the tape. So I've just taken the screws out of the WD-40, just giving a little sand in there just to make them a little bit better. If I found some alternative screws, I would put them in, but I could not find any for the life of me. So they'll have to do for now, but if I do come across some, I will replace them, because I quite like this little figure. So let's get his battery compartment in first. So that's the top screw. There. One for his head. And we have them back together. All working. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Quite a good effect, that. Ah, cool. So this is Sonic Man, all back up and working. Yeah, 1994 Sonic Man RoboCop knockoff. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I should be doing some more restorations very soon. But if you like this and like toy news, keep watching, like and subscribe and all that jazz. Until next time, take care now. Bye bye.